Hi, I am Dr. Abigail Borron, and I am an associate professor in the College of Ag and Environmental Sciences at the University of Georgia. I work specifically in the area of agricultural communication. And I wanted to share a little bit about my story today. I didn't grow up in the church. My mom occasionally sent me to vacation Bible school while I was in my early elementary years. And occasionally I also went with one of my friends to her Wednesday night youth group in high school. And as much as I was drawn to God, to church, I felt like I didn't quite belong, like I didn't fit, though I did believe in God. So as I grew up, I worked and strove toward being the best that I could be, to be good, to be successful, and because that was something I could be in control of. Well, in my early 20s, I can distinctly remember pulling into my driveway, into my garage, and as I waited for the door to open, I sat there and thought to myself, should I turn my life over to Christ, or should I continue living the life that I felt like I needed to live? And in that split second, I deferred to myself. So as the years went on, I strove toward areas of perfectionism that really, in many ways, at least personally, became unsustainable. Not because I wasn't succeeding, but because I ultimately started feeling like I was failing, like it wasn't good enough. So in many ways, it was exhausting, and I feel like it took the joy out of life. And I felt like my identity was wrapped up in not necessarily being able to be what I felt like I should be. Well, in those times and in those moments, I started realizing that God was continually pursuing me, coming after me through conversations with other people, through observations I had, even through reading the Bible as well, and then also in my failures. And yes, I did have them, and I started realizing that it's okay. That's not where my identity exists. But I could only get to that through really beginning to not only commit myself to Christ, but being a disciple of His. And so I feel like from there I started realizing just what my identity could be. And while today I still really strive toward working hard and to doing the best that I can, it's not about what I can control. It's about simply working toward what God has created in me to be. And we're meant to be able to push our burdens over to Him and be able to work toward His good in that way. So I am called to love my neighbors. Well, my students, my colleagues are my neighbors. And so I really believe that, and I pray that in my conversations and in my interactions with them, that perhaps I am also able to help them understand that they were made for so much more than just a great resume or the perfect job or winning the best award or coming out on top every single time. But there's so much more to, again, that life lived in Christ. I'm not perfect today by any means, but I continually turn back to and seek not only the strength of God rather than myself, but also continuing to seek after the path that I know that He's laid before me in my life.